Thursday, November 9th, 2017. That was weird.
Wait, did Tony Pig forget who was hosting the show?
Did he forget that we were on?
Write it down for him.
And here are...
What are there?
I thought you were delaying me.
No, we were just standing back there like, okay, we're just...
Listen, Tony, we still call it Regis and Kelly as well, so don't worry.
I call it Regis and Kathy Lee. Yeah. That's just me. That's just me.
All right, well, we're here. Good to see you.
Great to see you. Yes, welcome, everybody. My girlfriend from California, Gigi Rice, is here in the audience. Hi, Gigi. And, you know, Gigi and I, we have a connection. We are arranging our children's marriages. Isn't that right? We are. Her son, who's going to be a doctor, is going to marry my daughter.
Not that it's arranged or anything.
It's been arranged since they were like 3 years old. So it's like...
That's very exciting.
Yes.
When is this wedding? I just want to make sure it's in my calendar. You don't know?
We don't know. After med school. After med school.
Okay,
after
med school.
No, but Gigi, I worked with Gigi's husband, Ted McGinley, on Hope and Faith.
I walked by this guy, and I'm like, I know him.
Yeah. So he didn't want to sit down? He didn't want to sit down?
Well, he didn't trust you that you were going to put him on camera.
He didn't trust you.
I was going to put him on camera. Is he like roaming the hallways?
Yes, he is.
All right, we're going to get a moving camera back there to find him, because I want to find him.
Well, welcome from California to the Arctic cold that's coming in 24 hours. It's going to be record-breaking cold.
Yes, I know.
Record-breaking cold tomorrow.
Come on, get used to saying record-breaking cold. That's what we say here everywhere.
But even New Yorkers and even all the local New Yorkers on the television are talking about how cold this is going to be, which has me a little bit worried.
Listen, these weather people in the Northeast, this is their bread and butter. Terrifying us into getting our parkas and our umbrellas and our galoshes, and don't forget your bikini underneath, because there could be a warm snap.
It could snap and change in any minute. It's nice out there today, though, 43 degrees. Hello, sir. Very busy meeting in 5 minutes, clearly. Hello.
Hey,
he's listening to music or pretending.
Hey, boo. What's going on? Have you seen Ted McGinley out there? Have you seen Ted McGinley? Have you seen Ted McGinley?
Hi, would you like to see Kelly Ripa? No, okay, all right.
Bye.
We're very popular on the streets of New York.
Good. I got some good news. Good news. One of my favorite people on the planet, Alyssa Shapiro, she's a producer around here. She's responsible for our Halloween show every year. You know, our
she does
show
such a great job.
She does an amazing job. She starts planning it mid-June, I'd say. She starts thinking about it and working on it. She and her husband, Billy Hessler, have welcomed their second daughter, Avery Julia Hessler, 7 pounds, 15 ounces. Hey, here's big sister Devin. Big sister Devin is holding the baby.
That was all going down while we were in the middle of the show. It was going to happen at any moment.
Baby was due on Halloween. I was like, no. That can't be. You can't give birth to 2 things at once, a baby and our Halloween show. Anyway, so isn't she lovely? She's just like her big sister, the loveliest.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. So happy.
I thought that was a picture of Mark when you first grabbed that.
Yes, Billy and Mark
like her
are very similar. Yes, they have a lot of similarities.
There's more to this story.
Yeah, well, first of all, they love each other. Well, they do. They love each other.
Should.
But they are very, very similar.
They're morphing.
They're morphing in. Right? Yeah, they're morphing. Mm-hmm.
So after I told you yesterday how great I was sleeping because I'm taking a spoonful of magnesium and warm water and falling right to sleep at 9:45 and sleeping all through the night and enjoying every dream.
Yes.
I didn't sleep last night at all. And I did the whole did the thing again and the routine, but because I watched Wonder last night.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, have you not read the book?
I have not read the book.
Anybody here read the book Wonder? Yes? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Right. Well,
okay.
It's so touching.
Just saying, the movie's coming out, and you gotta. It's just yes.
It's so beautiful and well done and amazing. And
I cried the entire time.
Me too. 90 minutes of crying.
You cry for 90 minutes. You cry for 90 minutes. If you read the book, you cry for 3.5 days.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, so you may have to do the movie because I didn't have enough liquid in my tear ducts to make it for 3.5 days.
No, you could become dehydrated.
It's true.
You're skinny today. You're skinny from shedding all those tears.
There's a benefit to shedding those tears. Oh, that's me last night.
This is Ryan last night.
Wait, is that you just crying on a loop? Who's recording that?
So Shayna was thoroughly
Amused?
She was engaged in my emotion, and so she said, "Let me just take a picture of you at the beginning, the middle, and the end." And that is the emotion throughout. It is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably. It's warm. It's tough. It's beautiful. It's compelling. But I mean, it is a. Sometimes you need a cry. Like I like a cry.
I know you do. I know. How else can you explain working here?
So it is, and we'll talk about it later in the show with David, but it is, it was really compelling. But I didn't sleep because of it last night.
Well, I've got to tell you, when I was reading, Joaquin brought the book home from school years ago. This is years ago. And he said, will you read, can this be our bedtime? Because we always had a bedtime ritual. We would select a story and we would read the book, you know, over the course of several bedtimes. And Wonder was the one that really, I would start reading it, I would read 2 words, and I would say, and then you...
Yeah, you can't get it. I know.
He's like, are you okay? Are you crying? I said, I'm not, these are tears of warmth. These are tears of, he's like, he kept saying, you don't have to read anymore if you don't want. And then I would say, it's time for bed anyway. And I would take the book into my room and sit there and like I would finish reading the chapters in the closet crying because it's so emotional.
But it's hard to sleep after.
Yeah, it is.
Even with the book and the movie, it's very hard to sleep after. Stranger Things, much easier to sleep after you watch that.
Stranger Things also gives me a lot of anxiety.
Well, it gets your heart racing, but then again, you could burn calories.
That's true. That is true.
It reminds me, so speaking of Stranger Things, you know, Gaten here, his character, Dustin, I guess he wore this sweatshirt. This is 80s garb from, you know, the early 80s. And he wore this sweatshirt on the first episode of the 2nd season. People who binge, you know. And the sweatshirt was so popular that they decided to remake them as if it were the 80s. And they sold out in huge numbers. So it's like whatever they're wearing from back in the day is now coming cool again.
Gigi, why didn't we hang on to that crap? Right? I'm like, what in the world were we thinking? What's wrong with us?
It's all coming back to the music, the fashion, because of the popularity of this show.
My favorite part was when we were binge watching season 1 as a family, and Mark and I kept like just calling out tribute films, and our older son, Michael, who wants to be a filmmaker, he actually got all of the references. The younger 2, Lola and Joaquin, they were just mesmerized by the phone hanging on the wall. They were like, what is that thing she keeps picking up? I go, that's a cell phone. That's a cell phone.
What's your favorite 80s iconic film?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, there's so many. I mean, there's so many. You mean like from the horror genre? Or, I mean,
No, just in general. Like for me, I loved Wall Street. Like going back with the brick phone.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Wall Street was great. Yeah, Wall Street, Scarface. Yes. Scarface is great. I love Close Encounters. I don't know if that's 80s or 70s. But
when was Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile?
Romancing the Stone.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, that.
So good.
They were a super couple.
I know, I love that one. And Jewel of the Nile, the sequel?
Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas, and Danny DeVito were the first super throuple of all time.
Right. They were a trifecta that you don't mess with.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, they were really... You found Ted?
Yeah, we found Ted.
Where is he? You found...
We have a camera on Ted.
We have a camera on
Put
Ted?
a camera on Ted.
Camera on Ted.
The security stopped him. Yeah, no, keep him out. No, keep him out.
I'm gonna get to
Never
know
seen
Ryan.
that man before.
Come on.
We've never seen that man before. Yeah, good. This show's so big, we keep the celebrities outside.
Did you see how fashionable that security coat is? Now available at Macy's, our security wear.
That's an RS
distinction. Look at that. I mean, that's the same garb.
Oh my gosh. Now what's
It's an international affair. It's an
So last night, it was David Muir from World News Tonight. David Muir's birthday yesterday. Yes, yesterday.
Happy birthday, David.
Went out to dinner. Went out to dinner, but over the course of World News Tonight, I baked him a cake because I will bake cakes for, like, we have a big friend group, and I'm like the cake baker. I bake the cakes. But I've never baked David a cake, and he's, you know, he's like kind of shy about asking, but he's sort of said, you know, I wouldn't mind a cake.
I eat cake too.
Yeah,
right.
I like cake.
I
People
like cake. Sure,
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
And I said, well, what kind of cake would you like? And he said, what kind of cakes are there? And I said, you're from World News Tonight. You should know. There's lots of cakes. So he said, I just like a plain old vanilla cake with chocolate frosting. So I made, out of the Martha Stewart handbook, the Baker's Hand Manual, the butter cake. The butter cake with the double chocolate layer frosting.
Ooh, audible moans.
I'm not gonna, oh, well, that was fast. And I didn't even, that's from, yeah, David Instagrammed that picture of us last night. For some reason, I'm blowing out the candles.
Eat this quick, I just made it.
I think I was blowing out the candles because I didn't like the way I looked not blowing out the candles. We kept having to relight them. I'm not kidding. We kept having to relight them, and then we had to get second candles for the actual blowing out the candles because we were just like...
That is, it's so thoughtful and generous that you didn't just go buy a cake or order a cake. You actually took the time to look at Martha Stewart's recipe and bake the cake.
Having said that, if I had bought a cake, it would have been way more delicious.
Yeah,
it was fine.
It's
it was
not
fine.
about...
It wasn't my favorite.
It's just about that now you have made him a cake and he's part of that club.
Yeah, now he's part of the cake club.
You know, I have to say, I said to Kelly yesterday, I know I'm getting old when.
Yeah.
You look at the people who are hosting the very serious news shows, like David, and congratulations, David, on his ratings. I was
Yes,
reading
my
his
gosh.
ratings.
Oh, he's number one. Since Peter Jennings.
Right, number one.
Number
but
one.
You realize you're old when you look at for example, in this case, this guy, and he's so much younger looking than you are. And then they toss to the reporter who's covering very serious stuff, and he's 15
He's
years
a
old.
newborn baby.
He's a newborn baby.
I know. I was like, is that a newborn baby?
They look like an Abercrombie and Fitch ad.
I'm telling you, everybody is a newborn baby.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I saw David Muir file a report. This is 10 years ago, I think. Easily 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. And he filed a report for World News Tonight. And I didn't know him at all, but I immediately cracked into the ABC news system email, which you're not supposed to use unless it's for news. And I was like, dude, you looked amazing tonight. Don't know what was going on. It seemed kind of dangerous where you were, but just wanted you to know you looked amazing. I had the volume down.
Your hair was perfect.
You looked amazing.
Wait, we can crack into the ABC News stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, talk to me after.
Oh my gosh, it's the easiest.
Talk to me after.
It's so fun. It's so, well, you work here, so you have some sort of, you have an email you don't even know you have.
Very exciting, fantastic. Well, to stay young, I'm still in my baby gap today, so let's...
By the way, I like this one.
Thank you.
This is a good color for you.
Thank you very much. And you as well. You know, I think we're coordinated in some way.
Thanks.
Are those dye?
They're dye.
Those are dye.
I have dye.
Oh,
Or
you...
dice.
You high roller over there.
Yeah, I'm a high roller. I'm a high roller. What do you have?
Oh, just no. There's we have a busy show, but quickly in Los Angeles, I just saw this, and I don't know how this is going to work, but they're going to do Uber planes, right? Did you see this? You're going to Uber. Uber is big here in the city, but now in Los Angeles they're going to a helicopter plane.
Is that what that is?
That's what that is. You'll call Uber, and it's an electric helicopter.
You know, I read that article, but I read it with the heart of a person not really reading, just looking at the pictures, and I thought that they were like, oh, Uber is going to be making deliveries from drones.
No, these are people in the delivery. People are going to be in there.
I didn't read this.
You can get around.
The
But listen, we can't even drive in Southern California. How are we going to fly in Southern California?
Maybe that's the trick.
I don't know.
Maybe. Anyway, we have a huge show today. Kenneth Branagh is here.
I'm fascinated by all of him, like how he does it all. So fascinated by that. From Grey's Anatomy, Pompeo.
And he does it all. David Diggs is here.
It's time for morning wake-up travel trivia. Here we go. from Fort Orange, Florida. Mary, good morning. Nicely done. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Super good.
Hi.
Hi.
You know what I keep hearing? You know what? This travel trivia game is like an onion. Yesterday, Ryan and I looked at each other and said, was that rooster always there? Because there's a rooster.
He was always there.
We didn't see him.
You didn't hear him?
Today, I heard the cock crow. I heard all that for the first time.
Yeah.
How many days into this contest are we?
No, it's been playing every day, but the first day I didn't hear the cock-a-doodle-doo.
That was incredible. I mean, we have special effects AF.
So we're calling Maggie. When you say AF and dope, it tickles my...
I know, I have teenagers.
It tickles my gilly.
All the kids are saying.
I know. We're calling, they're lit. We're calling Maggie from Nottingham, Maryland.
Yeah.
See if she's up this morning. So it's a live call. Hopefully she's watching. She knows that we're calling Maggie right now.
Probably doesn't know.
Hopefully we dialed it, right?
She's sleeping.
There's lack of ring.
We don't even have a ring.
Yeah.
Hang up the soup can and start over.
We heard the special effect.
Yeah, that wasn't even a real dial. That was just the special effect, huh?
Let's start from the beginning.
It's time for Calling Maggie, Nottingham, Maryland.
Gelman, this technology is incredible.
Yes, the boom. We're just perfecting it.
The best part is just
Yeah.
watching everyone
Yeah,
scramble.
I like. Can we just turn the camera around and watch everybody? Yeah.
The show behind the show. Gelman, are you going somewhere? You look like you're in your travel gear. This is not what you normally wear. Are you traveling?
Is this boys ski weekend?
No. Going to San Francisco.
This is not. These are
my
tighter
gosh.
than.
Yeah,
this
these
is-
are his tighter than average pants. Those are his travel pants.
Those,
He likes to show it off when he travels.
Yeah.
When he gets a pat down,
They're
he likes them to see what they're patting down.
that's his concourse wear. We know your concourse
Yes.
wear. All right.
That says first. That has first class written all over it.
So who are we
Yeah.
calling?
Nobody's.
We're having some kind of...
We're having some phone problems.
Get to our first guest.
Wait,
we didn't
you're-
pay the bill.
You're kidding. Our show is having a technical snafu. How crazy! Do you want me to?
Not right now. No, we may get to it
Oh.
later.
Oh.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Kenneth Branagh's here.
Yeah.
Right after.
On tomorrow's show from the new film Daddy's Home 2, John Lithgow is here.
Daddy's home too.
Yes.
And from the new series, White Famous Jay Farrow is here.
And the adorable Jenna Dewan Tatum is here.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
He's an award-winning star of stage and screen, and his new film is the highly anticipated Murder on the Orient Express. Please welcome Kenneth Branagh.
Nice to see you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you.
Thanks, everybody.
I kind of almost introduced it like
Yeah, she
How
did.
to Get Away with Murder on the Orient Express.
Sounded
Yes.
very good.
Yes, I
like it.
try.
Do you like a thriller? Do you like a
I
mystery?
do.
Good.
Oh, yes, I certainly do. This is, and I think that you are going to spark a lot of interest in the Orient Express.
We believe this. We're interested.
Right.
Yeah.
You make it look very desirable.
Well, it's a magical kind of thing. Do you like train travel generally? I mean,
Yes.
People get so excited when they go on that train because you arrive, you go for dinner, you come back, and your compartment's been changed into this
can't even
beautiful
imagine.
kind of magic place.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're traveling across the Alps, and you're having a cup of coffee, and there's the snow.
I just get excited when I'm in the quiet car to D.C.
Yeah.
I get just as excited. I'm like, oh, this is luxury.
will change your life.
I got the quiet car.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Congratulations on being honored in Hollywood recently.
Thank you
That's a
very
big
much.
deal.
Major.
Thank you.
So exciting.
Thanks.
So you had that.
You're in the cement?
The cement.
Cement. It was hands and feet. I did feet as well. I
There
did
you are.
bare feet, which is there you go.
Is that unconventional? It
That is
seems it might be.
There are 300 people have been honoured in that way, and only 11 have gone barefoot.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Why don't they want to go
I tell you what, the cement gets everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I was showering for a week afterwards.
No kidding.
I was sure. No, it was like a pedicure from hell.
How did you get it off? off? Like, is there a technique?
Well, I try and get it off. It would sort of be back the next day. You know, it's like a sort of exfoliating on a nuclear scale. But it was fun because it was one of the first places I went to when I was in Hollywood. So to be in that number,
yeah,
really,
it's iconic.
It's funny. I recently watched one of those ceremonies from like on maybe it was the IFC or one of those channels where it was. I'm trying to remember if it was Jane Mansfield or. It was so exciting to watch. Yeah. It's just a really. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And when I was doing it, a friend of mine sent me a picture of. I think it was Jane Mansfield and Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
It was Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. That picture was like 50 years ago. But there was something. It's so sort of. Literally putting your hands in the feet and in the street, and then when people come visit at that big theatre where they can go and see first-run movies, just to sort of feel as though they really have been there. And the first thing you do is go and measure your hand size against you, because somehow you think there's some magic in this. If I'm exactly the same size as I don't know Sean Connery's hands, it's all going to work out or something.
Yes.
But it's fun that they've all been there, and somehow it symbolises that people, you know, come. I'm a boy from Belfast. It's a long way coming from Belfast to end up in that kind of scenario. Really.
And you're getting an honor in Belfast as well.
Yeah, it's thrilling.
What a year!
It's the freedom of the city of Belfast, which I mean, if I know somewhere up in the great green room in the sky, my father will be. I mean, just sort of unable to speak. I mean, I can't even imagine what he would be feeling, him and my mum, because they were so proud of that city as I am, and so it sort of connects to that ceremony in a weird way, you know, because I first heard about Hollywood and America, and so I still feel America's such an amazingly exotic place if you come from where we come from. And you guys are always so generous to us, and this is another example of it. You know, you watch in Belfast, you watch on the telly all those great shows, and then you get there, and to have that kind of combination then in the same year, it's amazing.
Well, the generosity continues. The generosity continues with another segment. Right after this, we'll come back and talk about the movie.
The first time they met, everybody was sort of curtsying to Judi Dench. I'm sure. Because she's played the Queen of England so many times. I think they felt they had to do that. But they were excited. Everybody gets to have, you know, these very striking characters. They're all terrific in it. They've really done wonderful research with the characters. But they also really enjoyed being in an ensemble, being suddenly, you know, Johnny Depp's the guy at the back of the shot, and Michelle Pfeiffer's the girl down this end of the shot. And, you know, they all kind of passed the ball to each other. They enjoyed being in this kind of, you know, group of sort of elite folk. And it was really exciting to watch, because it's part of the event of the movie that they're all there in the same place. They were all, you know, on the shoot for a month together, never went back to their trailers. These were people who really, you know, full of stories and everything. And you feel it. You feel it in the movie. There's a kind of tension, a good rapport, like your good selves, wonderful sort of camaraderie between each other. And that's, it was really a pleasure to direct.
Oh, we want to be in the sequel.
We want to be,
definitely.
I'm already at one of the tables.
Okay,
So good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I can wear facial hair. I can wear facial hair. Okay.
Murder on the Orient Express. It opens on Friday.
Coming up next, Ellen Pompeo is here.
After 14 seasons of medical traumas, death scares, bomb threats, plane crashes, near drownings, gunmen's, weddings, babies, tears, hospital hookups, she still rocks it. As Dr. Meredith Grey on Grey's Anatomy, please welcome Ellen Pompeo. Good to see you.
Nice to see
Welcome.
you.
Congrats.
Happy almost birthday.
Thank you. Today's my 10-year anniversary, too, so I get it
So
all
the back-to-back.
in. Yes,
That's
I planned
exciting.
it that way.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Double presents and vacations.
Oh,
and
is
all
it
that
double
kind of stuff.
presents? Because I would think that, you know, I know
It
my
has to be double
husband would,
presents.
he would figure out a way to merge the presents into
It
one.
should be double presents.
Yeah, well, the presents from him are always basketball games, like I keep saying.
You went to the Knicks game.
I did, yeah.
That's the gift.
That was the gift,
That's
yeah.
the gift.
And
I'm going Saturday, too.
Do you enjoy basketball?
I do.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, not as much as he does, but,
Right.
you know, you learn to...
Do you know what's happening for your birthday, or is it a surprise?
I think it was the basketball
That's
game.
it. So it all
I think
happened.
there's another basketball game with a different team.
He's got to celebrate for a month. That's the new way of celebration.
Oh, I like that.
Really? Okay, all right. We should have married him.
Everybody should marry Ryan, just at least for the day.
Okay.
Did you have a big wedding?
No, we got married here at City Hall.
Oh, wow.
And Mayor Bloomberg was our officiator.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
He took the subway and he was late, and they took
Yeah.
us in this underground tunnel underneath City Hall. Did you know that there are
No,
these?
tell us what the tunnels.
So there's these, like, you drive down under this tunnel, and you're like, where are we going? It's this. There are tunnels. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but underneath City Hall.
The Air Force is outside. Be careful.
There's like, there's a private, and then you come up through this tunnel, and you're in the mayor's office, like behind a bookshelf, like a wall opens, and then you just walk in and you're in his office.
Which is also a martini bar.
Speakeasy.
In my mind. That's exciting.
Yeah,
And then
really
did
was.
you have a big party afterwards, or just
No.
kept it simple?
You know, we got married, so it was 10 years ago, so it would have been like season 4 of the show, right? So at that point, I was really dying for privacy.
Right.
So we sort of flew out on a red-eye Thursday night. Friday morning, woke up, went to City Hall, had the wedding really quick. And then we went to Lupa for lunch after.
How nice.
Yeah, it was really just nice. We had the whole weekend and no one knew. So we had that to ourselves. We went to a Knicks game, of course, to celebrate.
And then is that why you planned the wedding here around the Knicks game schedule, or it just happened to be fortuitous that it was happening?
You know, I think that it's more planned than I know about.
Right.
But I think Chris Ivory's got, you know, knows every schedule to every basketball game that's happening everywhere. And it's
I
all,
like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's so excited about the 300th episode coming up.
believe it? I think the only people who have done more episodes of television than me are you two.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think we're all in a club and we all know how we feel and we can go have a drink later.
Yes,
Yeah.
we could use it.
You're one of 4 actors that have been there since the first episode.
Yes.
So what is that like? I mean, when people come in on their first day and they're nervous, are you the person that goes in and goes, calm down, these aren't real bodies?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm definitely not the one who's calmed down. I'm probably the biggest maniac on the set.
Oh,
like,
okay.
why is that there? This should be there. We have to do this. This could be better.
No kidding.
I definitely, probably don't do anything to make anybody more comfortable.
But for those who have watched the whole way through from the beginning, you're going to pay tribute to some of the former characters, right?
We are, which I have to say, you know, when I read the script, I felt, you know, a little strange about it because, I don't know, I hold all those actors so dear and I have a special affection for all of them. And I thought, well, we can't do that. We can't have lookalikes and what's that? And is that offensive to the cast now? And you know, I'm always concerned about everybody's feelings. And then once I saw the actors come on set and they really did resemble them and they were such great actors and did a good job, I was like, okay, once it was up on its feet, you know, sometimes in the script it's hard to imagine, but then once you get it up on its feet and it comes to life in a way that's pleasantly surprising.
I'm always amazed by script writers. I always think, like, how do their brains work? You know, like, how does it work to get all of that idea onto paper?
You know, we're really lucky. I think one of the reasons the show has maintained all these years is that we keep changing things. You know, we changed cast members, we changed the showrunners, the writers. And so this year we brought back a woman named Krista Vernoff, who was with the show for the first 7 years. And Shonda brought her back to bring a different tone to the show, so we're more comedic and lighter this year. And she's really crushing it. And it's like, it's a whole different show than we've been filming for the past, you know, 5 years with our last showrunners.
Do you feel like you have learned to be an expert in the medical field? Like, if you get your physical, can you?
No.
Because I think you could combat
But I'm an
some.
expert at telling people what to do, for sure.
Right.
I love
As if you
directing.
know.
It's like, you know, my husband was like, well, directing is just bossing everybody around. I don't know why you don't know you would be amazing at that.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I came home the first scene, I was like, I think I'm a really good director. And he was like, duh.
Right. Yeah. I nailed it. I nailed it.
Happy anniversary, boss. Well, it is the 300th episode, Grey's Anatomy. It airs tonight at 8. Check it out, ABC.
So happy to see you. Congratulations on everything.
We'll be right back. David Diggs after the break.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to start, but before we get into the film, because it is perfect casting. Perfect. You are in my mind's eye when I read the book, but I didn't know you then.
See, there you go.
Yep. But you're known for your rap skills, right? You're incredible. When did you start rapping? How many years ago?
I don't know, a lot of years ago. I mean, I fell in love with it, like, way back in the, I used to live on 44th Street in MLK in North Oakland, and me and some friends in the neighborhood, we called ourselves the Little Hammers, because MC Hammer was huge at the time, and he was from Oakland. He was the first sort of, like, worldwide phenomenon that was, and you would see him in Oakland all the time, so we used to get together in my mom's house and, like, play his songs and try to do all this dance.
Did you have the pants and everything?
I had some much cheaper versions of them, but yeah. I had some, yeah, and so we used to, you know, Can't Touch This does very appropriate music.
Did you ever
appreciate
meet
that?
the real Hammer?
He came and saw Hamilton twice.
He did?
And it's the most starstruck I've ever been in my life.
Could you see him from the stage? Could you?
No, thank goodness. But somebody came, I think Chris Jackson came running upstairs and he was like, breathe.
Breathe.
MC Hammer's here. I was like, oh no, oh God. I went downstairs, but now we're like homies.
I'm always curious about that when you're on stage and you're performing.
Can you see them?
Who can you see in the audience? Can you see, like, past the first row or no?
I should wear glasses, so I can't, because I don't wear them on stage and I don't wear contacts because I don't want to see who's out there.
See, we actually think that when we get eye contact that they can see us. Every concert, every performance, they just look at us.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Demi Lovato just eyeballed me. Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
But it turns out they're not even looking at us at all.
No,
they're just looking into the cracks.
We're usually looking into the backs of our heads.
That's what makes you all incredible performers. When the entire audience goes, Defeat just looked at me.
I did.
Yep.
I looked at you, though.
Yeah.
So in the days of being Lil Hammer, did you envision winning the Tony and just having all this tremendous success?
No, man. I mean, I didn't even know what that was. Broadway really wasn't a thing. Broadway really isn't a thing for most people on the West Coast now. I mean, you know, it's not. And I was in theater, but I never really sort of, New York wasn't a real place to me. I was just sort of grinding it out in Oakland. And you know, my first time coming to the East Coast was for college, and that blew my mind. Just like just being in a different place. But so the idea of winning a Tony, I don't think ever crossed my mind. But I knew that I loved performing. I sort of stumbled into it because I was really shy, and it gave me like I'm still really shy. But when I am performing or I'm given a task to do, I have a reason to be around people. I really love being in groups of people, but I just, if I don't have a reason to be there, I feel like very awkward. So performing gave me a reason to be in big groups of people, and so I just kept doing it.
Well, the heartwarming movie, we're going to talk about it after the break. It is so good. You're so fantastic in it. David, wonder.
So incredible. You played Mr. Brown, one of Augie's teachers.
Yes.
And for people who haven't read the book and obviously haven't seen the movie yet, tell them about your character and a little bit about the movie.
Yeah, well, the film is about a young boy named Augie who has a craniofacial difference, and it's about him going to school for the first time. So I play his homeroom teacher, Mr. Brown, who, what we were hoping to do was create the teacher that everybody wished they had, and that hopefully a lot of us get to have at some point in their lives. For me, one of the reasons I said yes to the thing was that it gave me an opportunity to sort of pay homage to the great teachers that I've had in my life. So that's who we hope Mr. Brown is, and that's what we're trying to accomplish. But he teaches often by way of he likes to give kids lessons for their lives. So he has precepts that are very important in the book and that are also very important in the film.
And there was a scene that was shot several times, I understand, that made you emotional while you were shooting it.
Yeah, there's this one moment in the film, I don't want to ruin it for people, but there's one moment where there's a fight between two kids, and it's a very emotional scene, and Mr. Brown comes in and breaks up this fight between two students. And, you know, when you're shooting a movie, you have to shoot something 20 times. And these kids are such great actors. And they are really going there emotionally every time. So in the scene, of course, everybody's crying, and they're so emotional, and they're doing all the choreography. And the energy was so tense. And in between every take, it's in a hallway full of kids. All of the kids in the hallway would come up to the two actors who were fighting and hug them and be like, great job, that was so amazing. I'm so sorry, we have to do it again. They tell jokes and try to like reset them, you know. And it was just it was the most caring and